Catherine with the Cumberland River Compact, and we are out here at Mill Creek, right at the campus of Nolensville High School, as well as Mill Creek Middle School and Mill Creek Elementary School. And we're out here today, we're going to show you some of a project that we've recently completed here on campus to help protect the water quality of Mill Creek. So Mill Creek is one of our most important watersheds within the Cumberland River area within kind of central middle Tennessee. It's experiencing a lot of threats from development in the area, as well as stormwater runoff from a lot of changeover from impermeable surface or from permeable surfaces like grasses and trees and forest land to impermeable surfaces like parking lots and roofs. So here at the campus of Nolensville High School, we've installed a suite of 3 stormwater retrofits that will help alleviate the pressure on Mill Creek and help keep the water clean in the area. Mill Creek is home to the endangered Nashville crayfish, which is only found in the Mill Creek watershed. And this area is also home to the streamside salamander, which is a threatened species in the state of Tennessee that lives in intermittent streams around this area. So we're going to take you around and show you some of the project. All right, so here we are at the first one that we're going to show you today. So this is one of our bioretention areas. This area here, you just saw that big parking lot. This used to just be your typical parking island that was kind of raised up and grassy. So what we did in this area is it's dug down and we planted it as a bioretention area. So this is taking stormwater from the parking lot, also from this road over here, as well as some from the football stadium and where that sidewalk is. And it's coming in, you'll see one of the 3 curb cuts on that side that's allowing water to enter into this bioretention zone. So the goal here was to allow the water to really soak back into the ground instead of what it had been doing before, which was diverting to a storm drain system underneath the campus to a detention pond. And this helps kind of restore that natural hydrology that will protect Mill Creek. These types of techniques are also good when we have a lot of rainfall, like we might be getting with warmer climate weather, where we're going to have more intense rainfall events. Bioretention like this will help absorb that water. So this bioretention, you can see it's been planted, and these are all native perennial plants. So these plants will be here, they'll continue to come back up throughout the years, and they'll help soak all that water in. All right, so here is the second stormwater retrofit, and this is actually a really cool one because this is one of the first examples of this in the Middle Tennessee area. So we're going to be showing you what's called a regenerative stormwater conveyance, and it's a series of step pools. So this utilized this triple catch basin right here that was, again, taking a lot of the water from that parking lot. So what we did is, you can see there's actually a cut now underneath the sidewalk. So instead of that water coming into this storm drain, that water will now kind of flow along here, and you can see just the tiniest bit of flow because it rained this morning, and then that flows underneath the sidewalk. And then from there, it moves into the RSC. And so this portion at the top will help collect a lot of the sediment. And you can even see there's some oil on top of the water that's coming from the parking lot. So again, instead of that going to Mill Creek, that's going to help, this area is going to help kind of filter some of that out. So like I said, it's a series of these kind of steps and then the pools. And so this goes all the way down here. These areas again are planted with those native perennial plants. These are those areas that kind of help, when we get a lot of flow, this is going to kind of slow down some of that water. Otherwise that force would be a lot in this area because you can see the slope is pretty great all the way down. So the RSC ends at the bottom, and you'll see this area is kind of a pool where there is some standing water right now because we had rain this morning and last night. And so you'll see that there are no plants planted in that area, so that because tends to be more standing water in that spot. What we also think will happen is, as you can see behind the RSC, there is a really healthy riparian area here. And so we do expect some kind of just normal colonization of that area of plants that are good for kind of that standing water situation. So this is the regenerative stormwater conveyance. And again, this helps deal with high volumes of water in a really quick time, and it also can help maintain the hydrology of Mill Creek during drought. So 2 things that we're looking to control here are high volumes of water, but also making sure that we can have good flow during drought periods. All right, this is the final bioretention zone that we have here on the Nolensville High School campus. And so this area is a little different than what we were looking at before, where it was taking a lot of the runoff from the parking lot and the roofs and the street. This is sort of taking the runoff that you can see basically from these baseball fields where it just sort of naturally slopes down, and some of the tennis courts over here as well. So we utilized this existing storm drain that was in this spot. So before, all the water was just draining into this area, into that storm drain system. But now what we did is we've dug down so that the bioretention is actually lower than this storm drain is. And so this is now serving as our overflow. So if there is a really large rain event and the bioretention area isn't able to hold all of that water, that will then move over into the storm drain system. So by installing this, it's still allowing and utilizing what's existing on campus, but it's not putting as much stress on that existing stormwater system, and instead using things like bioretention in order to soak that water in. So this one, just like the other spots, are planted with those native perennial species that will help absorb a lot of that water. So we're really excited to work here at Nolensville. We worked actually with high school students just earlier this week to do all of these plantings, so we really appreciate their hard work in making this possible and getting all these plants into the ground. And we look forward to seeing the impacts here on the campus as well as with Mill Creek.